Okay, so I'm standing here in front of the new Bell Runner 16K Plus, and I'm about to grease the machine. All right, I'm going to go over some of the differences that I see on this machine over the HD4 SR, which is about 990%, or in reality, 99% different. There's only 1% of this machine that even resembles the HD4 SR, and it's pretty simple. That it's pretty easy to just go around it and show you what the differences are versus the HD4 SR. Now, I'm not going to go out to the well, maybe I will go out to the HD4 SR, and I'll just do a quick shot of that thing, and you can see the difference within just 30 seconds of, looking at it, that it is quite anemic compared to this one. And I got some work to do to that one too, and I think you're going to enjoy it, and I actually think that Morris Industries is going to enjoy it too, because they can make that HD4 SR do things that it wasn't designed to do when I'm done with it, and I'd be more than happy to allow them to do whatever they want with that design. So, anyways, with that being said, I just love improving and ramping things up on these pieces of equipment, because I don't know, if I can make it work better than what it was intended to do, that means that I might be able to help somebody else out for free, instead of having to spend millions of dollars. But there's one thing that I'm really happy that they did not do, and I'm going to use the term did not the term, the two words, did not do. I'm happy that they did not do this. And I can tell you they did not do this, and I'm going to show you that they did not do this, because I've already scraped the paint off of several of these things, and right now, you probably guessed it because I'm going to be greasing. Right there, look at that. Do you think there's ever been grease put in that one? I know there hasn't. Now, there's another one here, and it looks like that grease zerk was clean, so they probably put grease in there. Now, when I say I'm glad that they did not grease that, or did not do the job that they were supposed to do, it's because I don't like the grease that they use, all right? I have been using Valvoline Crimson for years and years and years. And 2 years, I should say that, 2 years. For the most part, I have used many different types of grease over the years. I like Lucas Red and Tacky, and I still do buy it. And that's good for high-speed stuff. And I actually talked to the company of Schaefer's, which I have been using for a couple of years now, but not their grease, but only their engine oil, which I've saved buco bucks and fuel through engine oil. So, hold on a second here. When you save buco bucks in engine oil, or fuel because of engine oil, then you're doing something right, correct? That's what I'd say. Anyway, I've been using this 724 synthetic plus grease. Okay, so this is a synthetic grease. I like the synthetic greases, like I like my synthetic oils. I've used Schaefer's now for several years. I was using Valvoline Blue, which was a 540, but I didn't like the fact that it was only 540 when these tractors are really designed for 1540, so I did decide to go with the synthetic blend of Schaefer's, which actually gave, I think, Carl a quarter of a mile to the gallon more, which doesn't sound like much, but when you drive that thing for well over 50,000 miles a year, it adds up. And the same thing with these tractors. So anyway, I'm using this 724 synthetic for my drive lines, because it does have moly in it. Not much moly, just a little bit of moly. Now, I know there's some guys that are on there screaming at the computer screen right now, don't use moly in those things, they won't work. Well, for that application, it does work. Now, this 238, this is Ultra Supreme. This is not a synthetic oil grease. It may be a synthetic blend extreme pressure grease. Okay, so this is not meant for high-speed bearings. It is not meant for automatic grease guns. What it is meant for is these things right here, heavy pivot pins. Those pivot pins on these hydraulic cylinders, and here in these hydraulic cylinders here. So, yeah, that's what that grease is designed for. It's designed to adhere to the metal and fill in all the divots and imperfections in the steel with moly, which is a slippery substance. It is a metal, but it is a slippery substance, and it will adhere to that, and the grease that is blended into it is designed to stay in these joints. Now, with these things, less is more, because if you're squirting grease all over the place, it's not doing you any favors. And but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grease this machine with the moly grease. I actually have a grease gun around here someplace. I think I used it though. I think that one there's got it in. And I'm going to use that one specifically for these joints, that 238 grease, because, well, I want this machine to have the best chance it has at extra tacky, won't pound out, high temperature protection, and it is, ladies and gentlemen, waterproof. So, let's see, the yellow cap is an NLG 2, number 2, not an NLG number 1, because the 1 would be a red crap. This here, this is NLGO. This is 0 grade grease. This is really basically an oil. I like that stuff. I use that in the automatic grease gun on the baler in the winter time because it's soupier. It doesn't get too hard to pump. And since I've added that, the grease consumption has gone up, but I haven't had any problems. I'm blending it with the red and tacky. That's what I normally run through. The red and tacky or the crimson, which I've done away with the crimson now due to the synthetic grease that I'm using from Schaefer's. And I'm going to walk over here real quick. I owe them money though. I got to pay that bill. Forgot about it. Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants, and that's what this is. It is the 274, and that's for the high-speed stuff. And I've been assured that it will not gum up my automatic grease gun. But anyways, I'm going to shut this tractor off, and then I'm going to go ahead and get on to this job here. Okay, so I greased it. You can see a little bit of grease coming out there. I went over the entire machine, and it's good. There's one grease zerk that I haven't been able to get, and for some reason they put it right here. So I actually have to turn the tractor. I have to turn the tractor, like back it up and turn it to so that it goes that way. So I would turn it to the left and then back up, or turn it to the right and pull ahead, and then I'd be able to put the grease zerk in there, or the grease gun on that zerk, Z-E-R-K, for those of you that don't understand my supposed accent. Now, one other thing that I noticed with this thing, it does actually seem like this chain is a little longer on one side than the other, but it's not. It just seems that way. I don't know why, but it does. So, anyway, it's normal. It's just normal. This has an automatic chain tensioner right there, that hydraulic cylinder that's there, and that is what tensions the chain as it, when I start the tractor up and the computer's on, that little cylinder will tighten that thing up, and you can adjust it. There is a little guy here. You loosen that up, you give it a quarter turn in while working one of the levers up there. No big deal. I mean, it's no big deal. You have to do the procedure so that it's tight, but the tractor has to be on, and you just got to be really careful that you don't do something stupid. So anyway, with that being said, I'm done greasing. Everything is good, and I'm really looking forward to putting this thing through its paces. I think it's going to work really good. I did try it out last night, and it performed perfectly, actually a little better than I expected. I was really hoping I'd be able to go out today and do some work with it, but I can't because it's snowing.